Welcome, my friend. If you've opened this video, I believe there are questions in your eyes and a thirst for understanding. Today, let us explore a profound topic: the difference between consciousness and intellect. This question is not merely philosophical, it is the essence of understanding ourselves and our journey through life. Are you ready to begin? The nature of consciousness. Consciousness is the foundation of existence. In the teachings of the Buddha, it is called vijnana. It is awareness itself, the silent observer of all things. When you see a flower, the intellect names it, analyzes its color and shape. But consciousness? Consciousness simply experiences. It is like a mirror, pure, untainted, reflecting all things without judgment.
So, is consciousness passive, like a witness?
Not passive, but open and infinite. It is the light that makes all experiences possible. Without consciousness, there is no knowing. The Buddha said, all things are preceded by consciousness, ruled by consciousness, made of consciousness. But let us not confuse it with the intellect.
If consciousness is the ultimate thing to chase, what is the role of intellect?
From a Buddhist perspective, neither consciousness, vijnana, nor intellect, manas, is the ultimate thing to chase. Instead, the ultimate goal is liberation, nirvana, which transcends both. Let's break it down. First is consciousness as a tool, not the goal. Consciousness is fundamental because it allows us to experience life. However, in Buddhism, even consciousness is seen as impermanent and conditioned. It arises and ceases depending on causes and conditions. While pure awareness is closer to the ultimate truth than the restless intellect, clinging to any state of consciousness still binds one to the cycle of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Second is the intellect's role in the journey. The intellect is a tool, a sharp blade for navigating the material world. It analyzes, compares, remembers, and plans. It is the intellect that solves problems, builds cities, and asks questions. But it is also the intellect that divides, judges, and clings. Do you see how it can both serve and enslave us? The intellect is a tool, but it cannot lead to liberation by itself. Finally, what is the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal in Buddhism is to go beyond both intellect and consciousness, to realize the unconditioned, which is nirvana. Nirvana is not a state of consciousness. It is the cessation of all clinging, aversion, and ignorance. It is freedom from suffering and the realization of the true nature of reality, which is beyond conceptual understanding or sensory awareness. The intellect seems so active, so restless compared to the stillness of consciousness. Indeed, the intellect is like a monkey, jumping from branch to branch, never resting. It is useful, but it is not the master. When we identify solely with the intellect, we become trapped in a cycle of desire and suffering, what we call dukkha. The Buddha taught us the Four Noble Truths. At the heart of this teaching is the understanding of suffering and its cessation. The intellect creates attachment and aversion, the roots of suffering. But consciousness? Consciousness is beyond attachment. It simply is. When you meditate, you step back from the intellect and rest in pure awareness. This is the path to liberation, to nirvana.
So if you quiet the intellect, can you realize consciousness more fully?
Exactly. Through mindfulness and meditation, you learn to observe the intellect without being consumed by it. You see its movements, its chatter, but you do not mistake it for your true self. This is the essence of vipassana, insight meditation. Let me give you a simple example. When you sit quietly and observe your breath, You notice how the intellect tries to distract you with thoughts. When gently returned to the breath, over time, you will begin to notice the difference between the restless intellect and the stillness of consciousness. It is in this stillness that true wisdom arises.
Can the intellect ever work in harmony with consciousness?
A wise question. When you master the intellect, it becomes a servant of consciousness, not its master. This is the middle way, the path of balance taught by the Buddha. Remember this. The intellect is a tool. Do not discard the intellect, but learn to master it. Let it serve your higher self, not bind you in the cycles of craving and fear. Meditation is the path to this mastery. It is through stillness and awareness that you come to see the true nature of your mind. The infinite journey, dedicated to guiding you toward deeper understanding and mindful living. Let us walk this path together.